It's the Iron Skillet. We're back. It's Sunday. We got another side dish coming your way. Got my man T. Clem and Bullwhip in the building.
Whoop, whoop.
Today, we're going to talk to you guys about how to find locations for your next music video. I know, it can be hard when you're in a small town, and sometimes you have a vision and you have a hard time figuring out how to make it come to life. And today, we're going to give you some tips to figure out how to make that a little easier for you. And just because of us being so lucky to have Travis, we have shot probably as a unit over 100 music videos. So I feel
The
like
majority being from you.
Yeah.
From the whole year that you guys just went crazy.
Yeah. So we definitely had to figure out how to get creative with finding spaces because you can only shoot the same location so many times. And the first I think the first one and the most obvious one is just to literally hop in the car and drive around and actually look for spots. And I feel like when you're a creator, you start looking at the world through that lens. Because when I'm driving around, I'm not just driving. I'm always scanning with my eyes. And if I see a dope spot, the best thing to do, I don't always do this, and you can't always, but if you can hop out, take a picture, and then pin your location, that would be the most ideal thing.
That's the Bullwhip special, the pull up, hop out.
All right. So, all right. Now I got to go into it. It's one of my points. So I've coined this term. It's the pull out, but definitely pull out too. It's the pull up, hop out method. And you're riding around with your videographer. And if you see something, pull up, hop out, and get the shot. We've done a lot of music videos with that. We're just, we got the song and kind of got the idea, but we don't necessarily know where we want it. Okay, maybe we want a downtown setting. So, all right, let's ride around Winchester till we find that back alley or whatever it is we're looking for. So, pull up, hop out method. Definitely.
So, first one is just get up, go actually out, scout locations. The second one, if you have a specific vision, say you want to do a laundromat, make a list of all the laundromats in a certain area and then start reaching out, cold calling or emailing all of the business owners and asking them, hey, I have this video I'd like to shoot. I'd be willing to come in, when you guys are closed or at the lowest time for traffic, and would you be willing to let us use your space, or what would it cost for us to be able to use your space for this much time?
And don't be afraid to hear no.
And make sure if you do that, make sure that they're probably going to ask you questions about what the video's about or what you're going to need and if you're going to be putting things up. So make sure you have a clear plan before you call, because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing.
And be professional.
Yeah, don't just hit them with, yo,
I'm trying to shoot a music video.
Yeah, not the greatest tactic. So definitely make some calls, and also I would keep that information somewhere, because having that contact once you've done it one time, you can always, something else I was going to say is you can repurpose locations. You can use the same location and then make it look completely different. Depending on how you light it, depending on the angles that you shoot it at, depending on if it's a slow-paced video versus a fast-paced hip-hop video. So, I would keep all that information in case you decide you want to shoot there again. You already have their contact stuff saved.
You hit one of my points that I had written down, and it's all about the angles. And like you said, you could hit the same location and make it look different based on the angles or the perspective, or maybe you did it in a different corner of the building or whatever it is. So sometimes those angles really matter. Get, maybe a close-up. Hold on, I real quick, my bad. I just want to break it down. But, when you do decide on the location, I like to tell Trav, I'm all right, I want a full body shot. I want a close-up shot, and basically get different angles and different perspectives while you're there. My friend J Law from One Room Media always said, shoot more than you need, so that way when you come to edit, you have enough material. So all about the angles, get them all while you're there.
Definitely. So like we said, make sure that you have a plan, and don't be afraid to use the same location and dress it differently. We're not going to get into the details. This might be something to do another day, but like set design, the way that you have your maybe you have props, maybe you're using a chair and balloons and whatever, and then the next time it's like completely different. Like you can definitely use the same location and just repurpose the space if you have a good vision and a good idea for how you want to design the set. The next one, which I've been doing a lot more recently, because like I said, we shot a music video a week for like over a year. So I used like every location I think possible in Winchester. Is I started searching surrounding cities and searching their hashtag, like hashtag Leesburg, hashtag Loudoun County, and I would go through the hashtags on Instagram and I would just look for cool stuff. And hopefully the person pinned the location, because then it makes it really easy on you, because you can literally just screenshot that and put it in your notes. But searching hashtags on Instagram is a game changer, and it can definitely give you guys like a lot of ideas that you wouldn't be able to find just like Google searching. So,
On top of that, with the hashtags, one of my points was I've actually seen a couple locations from like friends' pictures. And I'll be like, yo, where was that? Like somebody was at a water hole and they had a waterfall. And I don't know what music video I'm going to do a waterfall with, but man, it looked pretty cool. And, knowing where it's at whenever I need it, another one. So there was that one. Oh, it was like a overlook of the valley. And I just remember seeing these power lines and this, all this rock that was like graffitied, and it just looked so cool. It was a place out by Cumberland.
I know exactly
that
what you're
overlook,
talking about.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, just if you see it in a friend's picture or something.
Yeah. That's like another thing that I was going to say is reach out. If you have a vision, but you don't know how to make it come to life, like you want to shoot in a place that looks like A, B, and C, and you can't figure it out, reach out to other creators in your area and ask them like, hey, I want to do this type of video, but I'm having a hard time figuring out like how to bring it together. Same thing, if you see something on their page, definitely shoot them a DM. But if you're also just struggling and you can't figure out how to bring it together, don't be afraid to reach out to other people in your area and ask them their opinion and see if they have any ideas for you.
Some people will leave you in red, but fuck them.
Yeah, but you gotta hear
can't be
no.
afraid to reach out, and you can't be afraid to hear no.
Yeah.
I think I think Google's a good way too. Even Google, because I've typed in cities before, just in Google Images, and gone through Google Images.
Yeah.
And seen something in the images and be like, oh shit, I need to find out where that is. And further research, find it, and then I feel like we went to DC for that one show, we saw that.
That wall.
Yeah, that wall that was all done like with hearts and stuff. We're like, we need to find that. It was right beside my hotel.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was gonna say is like I had Google Maps on here, but Travis like never wastes an opportunity when we go to a city. Like if he knows we're traveling to a city, he's on Google Maps and he's literally looking for dope places. Yeah. And when we went to Chicago, it made everything so much easier because we already had a plan of places we could go. And then it was also like, all right, now we'll just go around and see what we can find. So if you're going out of town, I would 100% like look and see if you can make a plan.
Google Street View is key. Like get on that Street View and just walk the streets in cities you're not in.
I was going to say that's what I put. Google Maps. You got to take advantage of the technology that's already out there, and I mean you could literally search the globe from your couch.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
I know you weren't with us for the Atlanta trip, Shaw, but what we did. I don't know if we did much research. You probably did some research, but we just got out there and walked around like.
There was so much in that little area we were in.
Yeah, there was so much
in
in just a couple block radius, and because we were downtown Atlanta, right down the street from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I think me and Lo, we were shooting Mr. Do This, so we knew we wanted scenes for that, and Yellow was shooting, and he
wanted like graffiti walls, so I had a website that actually had listed all of the graffitied walls in Atlanta. So we were like trying to hit everyone we were close to.
And we utilized the pull up, hop out method, even though we weren't driving, we was walking. So, walk up, hop out.
It was a lot of walking.
It was a lot.
Walk up, hop out.
It was hot.
One of the other ones, which I have not, I know I think Trav has done this. I haven't done it yet, but places like Peerspace and Airbnb. Now, this probably more so if you have a budget to work with. But if you're investing, look on Airbnb and see what kind of places there are. Go on Peerspace because that you can actually just pay to rent out certain spaces in whatever city you're in. And that's definitely, there's a lot of, it gives you a lot of options to be able to go on there and then kind of sift through and look and see. And I learned this from Nick D, but if you're doing Airbnb, maybe you can hit the person up and tell them, hey, I shoot video, like, if I do A, B, and C promo content for you, do you think you could knock some off the price, or we could do a trade type thing? And you might have to message like 100 people, but I'm sure one person will be like, yeah, I don't have any promo like content for my Airbnb. Sure. So definitely
Genius.
keep that in mind. So that's 5. That's more than 5 tips. I know I gave you 5. I know we talked about just, and Brandon, going out on foot, looking for places.
Pull up, hop out.
Reach out to businesses if you're interested. Send them email, shoot them a call, tell them what you're trying to do. Search hashtags on Instagram / reach out to other creators and see if they can help you come up with any ideas. Google Maps, Google Street View, and then Peerspace and Airbnb. So those are,
I think you covered it.
yeah.
Well, I think another one is like creating your own space.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we used a U-Haul truck to create a space for a
That's
video.
true. I feel like we should
It's a
talk
good one.
about that
You know?
for sure.
So that's like, we didn't have a place to do it, so we're like, fuck it, let's rent a U-Haul truck and we'll fucking deck the back of this thing out.
Yeah, that's 100% true. So like, we wanted like a studio look, like a completely like blacked out room with these like neon letters and super cool lighting, but we couldn't afford to like do a studio space like Peerspace or something like that. So we rented out a U-Haul and bought a bunch of black tablecloths, and we just lined the whole entire U-Haul so that it looked like we were in like a studio space, and we lit it, and it was super dope. Except for it was really
Facts.
cold. Facts. Facts music video. Check it out. So get creative. I mean, I freaking let my sister spray paint an entire corner of my basement
Which is sick.
to shoot the Grapevine music video.
We all got really high that night just from fumes.
From spray paint fumes. So yeah, don't be afraid to try to create your own space out of something that you have. Maybe you have a shed at your house, or just an empty room that you don't use, a spare room. Like, you could probably repurpose that room and make it into something cool to shoot a video.
You know what I've always thought? Drywall is pretty cheap, fairly cheap. A couple bucks a sheet. I've always thought of like building like a framework of a wall, maybe like 2 walls, drywall in it, and you could literally make your own set for, I feel like that'd be fairly cheap. Couple 2x4s and some sheets of drywall, and you could literally make your own set. Of course, you got to have the space to do it.
Yeah. But
It's done a lot. Like, that's how a lot of sets are built.
I was about to say, yeah, that's how they do it in Hollywood. They just do it in a big ass warehouse.
facts. There's another idea for you guys. So,
Hit up Lowe's. I'm sure you come up with some things.
oh yeah, for sure. And if you go on YouTube, you can search DIY, ways to do DIY setups for music videos all day to find, affordable lighting setups and different ways that you can kind of make your video look awesome for very little money. So, definitely check that out.
Big whoop. Think you covered it.
Yeah. All right. That's another Sunday side dish. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.